country's coinage system. Let's explore its real historical significance in depth. 2010, the BSP introduced the new generation currency banknotes, followed by coins a few years later. By 2013, coins including the 10 Sentimo were being redesigned with more secure, durable, and modern features. This was a response to the increasing need to combat counterfeiting and to refresh the physical design to reflect national values. Although part of the NGC coinage plan, the 10 Sentimo coin released in 2013 retained the older design from the BSP coin series introduced in 1995. This means the 2013 10 Sentimo coin did not yet bear the NGC designs, which were introduced later in 2018. Still, the 2013 minting rebel during the Philippine Revolution against Spain and in the First Philippine Republic. His inclusion on a low-denomination coin is symbolic. It reflects the power of intellect and principle over physical might. The 10 Sentimo coin served a critical purpose in providing exact change in daily transactions, supporting low-value pricing schemes in public markets. Though its purchasing power was limited by 2013, it remained a legally accepted and essential coin for small-scale vendors, jeepney drivers, and rural communities. The shift from brass to copper-plated steel was a cost-saving move. Copper-plated steel is cheaper and more abundant, making it economically viable. This change also allowed the BSP to produce large quantities while keeping expenses low. 2013, the Philippine economy was experiencing growth, but inflation had slightly diminished the practical use of small denomination coins. However, BSP's effort to maintain low-value coins like the 10 Sentimo was crucial in fighting price rounding errors and ensuring accuracy in consumer transactions. The 2013 10 Sentimo is not considered rare, but some collectors value it based on, over time, the usage of the 10 Sentimo has declined in urban areas due to low purchasing power and inflation. However, it still circulates in rural provinces and is occasionally used in public transportation, fare computations, or sari-sari stores. The 2013 coin is part of the last years of the older BSP coin series. In 2018, the BSP launched the full new generation currency coin series, and the 10 Sentimo coin was redesigned with a more minimal 2014 version reflects a new chapter in the nation's numismatic history. It stands as a symbol of economic progress, enhanced security, and cultural heritage. The Sentimo traces its roots to the Spanish Sentimo, a subunit of the peso first introduced during colonial rule. After independence, the Philippine government continued using the peso Sentimo system. Over the years, various versions of the 25 Sentimo were released under different coin series. English Series 1958 featured the denomination and national identity in English. New Generation Currency Coin Series 2014, a sleek, modern coinage system with improved security features. In December 2014, the Banco Central ng Pilipinas released the first batch of the New Generation Currency coins. The 25 Sentimo was among the lowest denominations introduced under this series. The release marked a pivotal modernization of Philippine coinage, aiming to deter counterfeiting through advanced minting technology, replace old and bulky coins with lighter, simpler designs, standardized coin sizes and weights for easier handling and vending machine compatibility. The face of the coin prominently features the denomination 25 Sentimo and the year of minting. 2014, the new BSP logo, adopted in 2010, which symbolizes monetary stability and the central bank's independence. Republica ng Pilipinas. It features an indigenous Philippine plant, local flora or fauna, to celebrate Philippine biodiversity. A modern BSP logo, representing transparency and accountability. Standardized appearance to avoid confusion in daily use. The Catman fruit on the 25 Sentimo represents strength, resilience, and local pride characteristics, deeply embedded in the Filipino identity. While the 25 Sentimo is among the lowest valued denominations, it still plays a functional role in pricing items to the exact amount, especially in sari-sari stores, paying utility bills with centavo rounding systems, transit systems, and fare machines in some rural areas. However, inflation and declining purchasing power have limited its daily use in urban centers, making it less circulated than higher denominations. Though not rare, the 2014 25 Sentimo is collected by numismatists who wish to complete the full 2014 NGC coin set. Track modern Philippine coinage evolution. Study the symbolic botanical element.
This specific coin continued the BSP's effort to modernize and localize the national currency with new designs that showcase the Republica in Pilipinas, Republic of the Philippines, year 2009. National symbol, the stylized Philippine flag, sun and 3 stars, reflecting patriotism and the legacy of the first Philippine Republic. Depicts the Catmon flower Delinia philippinensis, a native flowering tree of the Philippines. The flower symbolizes Philippine flora and was chosen to promote awareness of native species. Bangko Sentral in Pilipinas logo at the bottom. Continuation of flora and fauna theme. The 2009 25 Sentimo coin was among the final issues before the full shift to the new generation currency NGC coin series in 2018. It kept the tradition of featuring native flora, reminding Filipinos of their rich biodiversity. The Catmon flower, featured on the reverse side, is endemic to the Philippines. By highlighting such species, the coin educates citizens and collectors alike about local natural treasures, monetary use and circulation. Although 25 Sentimo had limited purchasing power in 2009, it remained in circulation, especially for making exact change in traditional markets, jeepney fares and small transactions. BSP symbolic messaging, the inclusion of the BSP logo alongside the flower symbolizes 100 or more depending on condition. And seller.by 2018. The new generation currency coin series phased out this version of the 25 Sentimo. The newer coins are nickel-plated steel and have a cleaner, minimalist design, removing plant and animal imagery in favor of simpler nationalistic symbols. The 2009 Philippine 25 Sentimo coin is a beautiful blend of national identity, ecological awareness and economic function. With its depiction of the Catmon flower, it served as both currency and educational piece. Though no longer in wide circulation, it remains a valuable cultural artifact from the final decade of the flora and fauna coin era. The 25 Sentimo denomination has existed in Philippine coinage since the Spanish era. During the American occupation, 25 centavos were struck in silver. After independence in 1946, the Philippines adopted the peso Sentimo system, and 25 Sentimo coins became a regular part of coin circulation. By the 2000s, this coin had transformed in both design and purpose, primarily serving as a small value coin for local transactions. In 1995, the Bangko Sentral in Pilipinas BSP launched the improved Flora and Fauna series, modernizing earlier designs from the 1980s. Philippinensis. Was chosen not only for its beauty, but also for its endemic nature. It grows naturally only in the Philippines. The coin is made from brass-plated steel, a low-cost and durable material. By the 2000s, global metal prices and minting costs forced many countries, including the Philippines, to adopt cheaper and lighter alloys. These coins are not as durable as older ones, but they are cost-effective for mass production in a developing economy. In 2009, the Philippine economy was recovering from the global financial crisis. The BSP maintained a stable monetary policy to control inflation and promote growth. Though small in value, the 25 Sentimo coin remained vital in daily retail transactions, especially in wet markets, jeepney fares, and sari-sari stores. Coins like the 25 Sentimo were minted at the BSP Security Plant Complex in Quezon City. Though no exact mintage figure was publicly released for 2009, the coins were issued in large quantities for circulation. However, many were lost, discarded, or melted down over the years, reducing their presence today. 2017 to 2018, the BSP introduced the new generation currency coin series, which excluded the 25 Sentimo coin from regular public use due to its diminished purchasing power. This marked the end of circulation for the 2009 25 Sentimo, making it part of Philippine numismatic history. Even during 2009 to 2013, public sentiment began to shift. Many Filipinos regarded coins below 1 Cuban peso as a nuisance, often refusing to accept them or throwing them away. This socio-economic behavior led to reduced visibility of low-denomination coins. Today, the 2009 25 Sentimo coin is a low-value collectible, but well-preserved coins in brilliant uncirculated BU condition or mint rolls are sought by local collectors trying to complete BSP Series collections.it is especially interesting to educators, numismatists and nature lovers, due to its depiction of Philippine flora. The BSP's decision to include plants like the catmon was deliberate. It aimed to integrate economic instruments with cultural and environmental education. Every coin served not just as a means of transaction, but also as a reminder of the country's unique natural resources. For schoolchildren and younger Filipinos, coins like the 2009 20
her administration sought to rebuild national identity and trust in institutions, including the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas BSP during this era. Currency designs were carefully curated to reflect national pride, heritage, and progress. The Flora and Fauna coin series, which includes the 25 Sentimo 1987 coin, was part of this effort, designed not only for practical use, but also as a symbol of national recovery and ecological awareness. Juan Luna y Novicio 1857–1899, the hero on the obverse, was more than just a painter. He was a revolutionary intellectual. His artworks, like Spoliarium, symbolized the suffering of the Filipino people under Spanish rule. He was also active in the propaganda movement, which called for reform and equality under Spanish colonial rule. His inclusion on the coin in 1987 highlighted a return to Filipino nationalism through intellect, art, and activism, aligning perfectly with the new democratic values being promoted at the time. The reverse of the coin features the Graphium ideoides, a butterfly species in environmental awareness, encouraging Filipinos to value and protect their rich biodiversity, which was increasingly under threat due to logging, mining, and urban expansion. The Flora and Fauna series was designed by Filipino artists and engravers who worked under the BSP and the Mint. The 25 Sentimo 1987 coin was appreciated not just for its function, but also for its aesthetic value and educational role. By placing nature and national heroes side by side, the coin series was a unique blend of history, Juan Luna, and Filipino revolutionaries. Nature, native species like butterflies, birds, and plants. In 1987, the Philippines was facing a fragile economy. The government was battling high debt, unemployment, and foreign investor uncertainty. Inflation had risen significantly in the early 1980s, so the actual buying power of a 25 Sentimo coin was quite low by the late 1980s. Still, these coins were in active circulation and commonly used for. The coins during this period played a role in propaganda, but as real-life examples of Filipino courage and intellect. These coins were minted by the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. The 1980 25 Sentimo coin was released. The Philippines was already deep into this new society narrative. Every aspect of governance, infrastructure, and even coinage was used as a vehicle to promote nationalistic ideals and centralized authority. The Ng Bagong Lipunan coin series was introduced in 1975 by the Central Bank of the Philippines. Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. The obverse front of the 1980 25 Sentimo features the image of Juan Luna, one of the Philippines' most celebrated heroes. He was a renowned painter and patriot of the late 19th century who used art as a tool of resistance during Spanish colonial rule. The left-facing portrait of Juan Luna is engraved in the center. Inscription. The reverse side of the coin bears the following features. Large bold 25 Sentimo, inscribed at the center. Just above or alongside the number is the slogan Ng Bagong Lipunan, echoing the government's political branding. Floral design. The 25 Sentimo denomination was essential for everyday small transactions like jeepney fares, small market goods, and sari-sari store items. Despite inflation, coins like these maintained practical value throughout the 1980s. In rural communities especially, the 25 Sentimo coin had significant purchasing power, enough to buy a candy, newspaper sheet, or even a few pieces of produce. The 1980 25 Sentimo coin is more than a monetary tool. It's a historical artifact. Through its design and inscription, the government. 1980s, the Philippine economy was facing mounting foreign debt. inflation, and dependency on imports. Currency devaluation also became an issue. The minting of durable and cost-effective coins, like the 25 Sentimo, was part of broader monetary policies to stabilize and regulate currency in circulation. Today, the 1980 Philippine 25 Sentimo is considered a vintage collectible. Circulated coins. Some collectors prize it for its historical importance, unique design, and association with Juan Luna. The 1980 Philippine 25 Sentimo coin captures a moment in history when the country was undergoing tremendous transformation politically, economically, and culturally. It's a small but powerful symbol of an ambitious, controversial era. With Juan Luna's image and the Bagong Lipunan slogan, it reflects the aspirations, struggles, and identity of the Filipino people. During a time of great change, whether in a collector's, this coin was minted in 1980. Its design elements and choice of honoring national heroes, like Juan Luna, trace their origins back to the Spanish colonial period. During Spanish rule, Filipinos were not often featured on currency. It wasn't until independence movements of the late 19th century that local heroes, like José Rizal and Juan Luna, gained prominence. Thus, by 1980, showcasing Luna on the 25 Sentimo served as both symbolic resistance to colonization and national pride in Filipino identity, themes deeply rooted in centuries-old history. The Central Bank of the Philippines, BSP, was responsible for minting this coin. Established in 1949, the BSP had by the 1980s become deeply involved in reshaping Philippine coinage under President Marcos' directive. All coins of this period were produced under strict guidelines, promoting efficiency, durability, and national themes. The BSP worked with both local and foreign mints, especially when local facilities couldn't meet demand. The 1980 coin comes from a politically tense time. Under martial law 1972 to 1981, Marcos' regime was marked by censorship, curfews, military rule, and controlled economic programs. The coinage system was one area where the government expressed political narratives without words. Angi Bagong Lipunan printed on the coin wasn't just a daily propaganda, subtly reinforcing political authority. 1980. INFLATION was gradually weakening the value of the Sentimo. Although a 25 Sentimo coin could still buy some cheap goods, like a matchbox or piece of candy, its purchasing power was decreasing compared to earlier decades, when centavo coins were meaningful. The 1980s saw the beginning of the decline in the practical use of lower denominations. This would lead to many being phased out by the late 1990s and early 2000s. Juan Luna, the featured figure, was not randomly chosen. He was a painter whose masterpiece, Spoliarium, won international awards in Europe, a revolutionary connected to the propaganda movement alongside José Rizal and Marcelo H. del Pilar, a national hero. Despite a troubled personal life, he famously killed his wife in a jealous rage and was acquitted in Europe due to crimes of passion. His dual identity as both artist and activist made him an ideal symbol of creative nationalism during the Bagong Lipunan period. In everyday Filipino life, coins were kept in small cloth purses or passed quickly in market stalls. The 25 Sentimo coin, with its golden color and mid-size form, was familiar to most Filipinos. It was commonly used in jeepney fares, often needing exact change. During 1980, the world was grappling with the second global oil crisis. This impacted the Philippine economy significantly. Energy shortages, rising
25 Sentimo coin is a modern part of the country's currency legacy, bearing both historical depth and national symbolism. Though it's a small denomination, its story reflects the evolving identity of the Philippine nation and its economic and cultural heritage. The word Sentimo originates from the Spanish term centimo, which means a cent. The Philippines adopted the centavo and later Sentimo systems during Spanish and American colonial rule. Over time, coinage shifted from Spanish Filipino to American-influenced designs, then to independent Philippine designs after 1946. The 2013 25 Sentimo belongs to the BSP coin series, also known as the New Generation Currency (NGC) coin series. This series was first introduced in 1995 by the Banco Central in Pilipinas (BSP). It replaced earlier Flora and Fauna series and carried designs meant to reflect the modern era, showing economic progress. though small in value. The 25 Sentimo coin represents the country's growth. The 2013 version in particular emphasizes modernization. Under the post-1995 reform of currency, national pride through the use of Filipino language and indigenous symbols. Commitment to economic progress. Symbolized in the BSP seal, the 25 Sentimo coin circulated widely across the Philippines. Primarily used for small transactions like jeepney fares, sari-sari store purchases, and change for larger denominations. Despite inflation reducing its purchasing power, it remained a functional part of daily life during the 2010s. While the 2013 25 Sentimo coin is not considered rare in general circulation, uncirculated or proof versions, kept in mint condition, can attract attention from collectors. Coins with minting errors like off-centing or double strikes can also be valuable. In 2013, the Philippines was undergoing a period of economic growth and institutional strengthening. The coin reflects a national effort to stabilize currency design and standardize coinage under the BSP. The government's goal was to create newer coins feature updated security and design elements but removed denominations like 10 and 25 Sentimo from active minting, reflecting their diminishing use due to inflation. Thank you for watching the Coin World.